bluntly,
down on the ground.
One is you need to do everything local, even if you think globally. It means that you don't have to have a networked strategy.
bluntly, and bluntly.
Growth be considered as a panacea concerning development.
Economic growth in the Congo is on the paper, but it's not the reality.
There's evidence, especially among students before graduating. You can see.
It may be strong, but people who are dealing with it, this is the problem. Or white people are not.
Bluntly, oui, Vanessa Yombrania.
Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Keep in touch.
Hello everybody, welcome to the program. Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Everything is definitely under control in this program. As you can see, today's Bluntly is going to be mesmerizing with a particular emphasis on something absolutely vital. Today we're going to focus on what we call the stakes of the war in the Eastern DRC. That's why, without further delay, I'm going to introduce my guest to you. Hello, Mr. Patrick.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Patrick Kabeya. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes. Would you mind having a seat?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. That's good. Yeah, Mr. Patrick, are you willing to speak bluntly right here and right now?
Yes, I like the name of the show, and
Yes.
yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, thank you so much. I
No
would like to
problem.
introduce you to the audience.
Thank you.
You are Mr. Patrick Kabeya,
Yes.
and you are anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism expert
Yes.
in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I'm an expert of the world, but I'm based here. I live in the DRC.
Are you Congolese?
I am. I was born and raised here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good, I like it. Thank you so much. Bluntly, and bluntly. You know, today's Bluntly is particular as we're focusing on the war in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's something very bad. Our compatriot in the eastern part of the DRC, mostly in Goma, in North Kivu, even South Kivu, the situation is almost going from bad to worse. And as you are an expert in everything related to the war, I know that you're going to get the message across so that all Congolese can understand what's going on. The first question is very simple. What's going on in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Thank you for having me. This is the very first time in the DRC to participate in such a television show in English.
Yes.
And because the world audience today is kind of bipolar. You have to touch each aspect of the society.
Yeah.
And what happened in DRC has started even, I think, before I was born. As far as I know, since 1994, we have a neighbor who is envying what's under the mineral under our
Raw
authorities.
materials.
Yes, and it started back in 2003.
Yes.
I remember the very first time I was on a TV in the States, watch MSNBC, and I watch Mama Nita Ivele, rest in peace. She died a couple of years ago. Yeah. I think she died in COVID. She's the very first activist that encouraged me from my living room to get up and start the cause of the Congo. I remember back then I was in school. It was 2003, 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And this is how I started. So now, what's happening in the Congo is very complex now.
Very complex.
What we need in us as a Congolese is we need to strengthen our army to have some kind of respect, because you cannot have some type of respect in your house if you cannot take care of your family.
1 second, before talking about the way of strengthening or putting in place strong strategy so that our army can become strong or powerful, one small question. Many think that the war in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo is also a question of terrorism financing. Do you agree with them? Or money laundering, something like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can agree with that. And here, I agree as as an expert.
Yes.
And I agree also as a Congolese.
And as a
because
politician.
I live
Are you
here.
also a politician?
No, I'm not a politician. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not a politician.
Yes.
I'm an expert, and I think I can help the country with
Yes.
my expertise. And
Absolutely.
I think that's it. And you have on the east of the Congo. Let's start it. Let's start it from the beginning. Okay.
Yes.
You have Al Qaeda, who's in Eritrea and in northern Somalia.
Yes.
For years. Okay, and after school, Bin Laden put is a compound.
Yes.
in northern Somalia.
Yeah.
Okay, and they fight the American. They were kicked out. Bin Laden went to Afghanistan.
Yes.
Okay, and now you have the former Al Qaeda that's still there. Some of them came down all the way to northern South of Sudan, which are our neighbor on the east. And you remember how Museveni got to power. And you remember 94, how Kagame got there. So from the northeast, the very northeast, all the way to Nairobi. Actually, today we're speaking about Mozambique. And all these wars that's going on, all these conflicts, is just because of that, financing terrorism. So first thing to do, secure the border. Second thing, freeze the access. Third thing,
bad things.
To the manhunt.
Absolutely. When we talk about terrorism finance, it looks like the DRC must be very, very, very must be working on strategies, particularly so that we can put an end to this terrorism, as you're calling it, terrorism.
Yes.
And
yes.
we are afraid that this war won't end right now because we have many countries around the globe looking at the DRC because we are a very rich country. We have raw materials, we have diamond, cobalt, copper, and so on and so forth. And we are afraid that this war is going to take time.
No, I want to be optimist here.
Yes.
Okay? If we secure our border properly.
Yes.
Okay? If we secure our border properly and we can negotiate with anyone who wants to come here.
Absolutely.
And do business with us.
And kick him, yeah.
Yes, and do business with us.
Yes.
This is what the
we need investors in the DRC.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but the investor, like the president usually say, coopération gagnant-gagnant.
Yeah, win-win partnership.
Absolutely,
Yes.
you gotta be both winners.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be used and stab in the back because you have investors who don't come along. How
Yeah.
many contracts do we have here
Yeah.
in the past with the Chinese, with the Japanese, with the people that did not honor it? You see the road,
Yeah.
you see the schools,
Yes.
you see the infrastructure.
Yes.
Everything needs to be done, but you see the mine and co-sign contract with the international communities.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we need to talk about it more.
Absolutely.
Have a upfront subject, look each other on the eyes to come up with solutions.
Yeah, everybody, any country in the world has the possibility of investing in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but there is something we must talk about here, the fact that Rwandan armed forces have been pushing in the DRC, and we heard that those who are in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, in Goma particularly, M23, but M23 supported by Rwandan armed forces. Do you confirm that?
It's clear. It's not up to me to confirm.
Yes.
Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Look, today, Rwanda has transformed the genocide
Yes.
to a business.
Business, absolutely. I see.
Rwanda president transformed the genocide to a business. He gets a lot of money off of it. Okay.
Yes.
And then I remember back in the days, our president, when he got elected,
Yes.
he went there. When the president got elected, his focus was to make a peace with all of our 9 neighbors.
Yes.
That was his objective.
Including Rwanda.
Absolutely. I say all 9.
Yeah.
He came from the party UDPS, the party of a peace.
A democratic one.
The fight for 38 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So he needed a peace. However, Rwanda stepped us in the back. And although the M23
Yes.
honestly doesn't exist,
It's about Rwanda.
No, let me just say this to you,
Yeah,
to
put
the
things
people
clear.
who are listening to me.
Yes.
The M23 doesn't exist. If we have to count them,
Yeah.
they're not even 100. Okay?
Some of them are Congolese.
Listen, I'm coming. Just
Yeah.
let me explain to the audience.
Yes, you have the floor.
The M23 are not Congolese.
Yeah.
The M23 don't have 100 people with them in that army.
Yeah.
They have the leaders
Yes.
are like 5 or 7. They are Congolese, yes.
Congolese.
And
Traitorous.
if you count
Yeah.
besides the leaders of the M23, if you count the army, the member of that movement,
Yeah.
they're not even 100.
Yeah.
Everybody that you see fighting, they are from RDF, which stand for Rwanda Defense
Rwanda.
Forces.
I
It's
see.
clear.
I
So this is Kagame agenda. This is not the M23 fighting for X, fighting for Y and Z. No. We just got to make it clear so the people
Mr. Patrick,
know who we're fighting
I
here.
see what you're talking about, and Congolese are watching this program right now. You know, it's
Absolutely.
on the state television.
Yes.
Just a small question. Why have you been complaining too much, Congolese? You should work, put in place strong strategies so that you can kick out, the enemy.
Yeah.
You're only complaining every time. It's not, you won't find a solution by complaining.
I'm not a decision maker,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Sometimes the
I-
president is watching the show. What do you tell him right now about the
if-
way forward to kick the enemy out of the country?
I wrote a lot of letters, a lot of notices to a lot
Yes.
of talking points to
Yes.
him.
Yes.
And I know he gets them one way or the other. But
Yes.
in national TV, you cannot give an army strategy
Strategy,
if
yeah, I see.
you're a true expert. But what I'm going to say is,
Yeah.
in my level, I'm helping the president as well.
Yeah.
Because we make tremendous contact in the new Trump administration. We're making a lot of efforts
Yes.
to ease
Yes.
what's been said before in a Biden under Biden administration. So we're focusing on the new era and making sure that Congo are looked at differently. And I'm glad to see this the head of State Department, Marco Rubio,
Yes.
my former neighbor in Florida,
Yeah, I
and
see.
he was in my constituent,
Yeah, I
and
see.
I help run his campaign.
Good.
So it's a time for us
Yeah.
to make a lot of noise, to lobby, to help
Yes.
the president there and the head of states in America.
Now
making
let's be more pragmatic by saying that what has been happening in the eastern part of the DRC can be called genocide.
Absolutely. It should be called genocide
It's a
since
genocide.
2020.
How should you could you demonstrate it? So that the international community, can understand.
Oh,
that,
we have more than 10
Yeah.
million people that died in
Yeah.
Eastern. And this is not a joke. We have more than 10 million people. And I said 2020, I should say 2001 when
2001,
all
yeah.
these things started.
When Muzelora Desir Kabila.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just envious. We have people envying us.
Absolutely.
People want what's in our plates.
Jealous, very jealous.
Yeah, we have people that want what's in our plates
Yes.
to eat. Okay.
Yeah.
You have people want to come take what's in our plates. So that's what's happening right now. But what we need to do, we need to get up. I appreciate all the effort that the VPM, Jean-Pierre Bemba, is making.
Yeah.
And shout out to you, VPM, if you're watching this show.
Yeah.
I know you're doing a tremendous job.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you. And that's how things need
But
to be.
why don't you underline the fact that among Congolese we have some treacherous?
Yeah, you have
Whether or not.
you have people that betray everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to the leader
Good.
to remove them from where they are located, not to be in a position
Yeah.
of the commandment.
Yeah, Mr. Patrick, what Rwanda is doing is very, very bad. And Rwanda has been violating, the United Nations Charter.
Oh, they violate all kinds of laws and charts for years.
Of the United Nations and the international law. Why don't you sue Rwanda?
I think we've done it.
Yeah.
Remember, if I'm not mistaken, Rwanda and Uganda was paying us for what happened 10 years, 11 years ago in Kisangani.
Good.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to that, but I know the ICC court condemned Rwanda and Uganda for what happened in Kisangani, and they were supposed to be paying us something. I don't know what happened to that. I don't have the exact information.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Everything is definitely under control in this program. As you can see, today's Bluntly is very interesting as we're talking about the stakes of the war in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. As the saying goes, quote, don't teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Unquote. You know, my guest is very knowledgeable about the topic. As the saying goes, you know, from time immemorial, nobody has eaten omelette without breaking eggs. That's why we must polish up economic strategies in order to skyrocket. Do you have any ideas about economic development and well-being? Join us in this program. That's our motto, our slogan. Stick around as usual. We'll be back after the break. Find out.
I'm back.
Bluntly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, the second part of this program is going to focus on something very, very interesting. You know, the role of the international community. We live not alone as a country. The international community must play a significant role. We have two men. Talking about international community looks like we're talking about nothing, because the international community means many countries. The United States of America, France, Russia, China, and so on and so forth. Those countries cannot look at the DRC suffering without acting, without finding the way forward to kick out of the country the enemy. But it looks like there is a kind of complicity. Do you agree with me?
Yes, but
behind Rwanda, it looks like there are countries supporting.
This is how I think we need to do.
Yeah.
We first, as a country, we need to make others respect us.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's where we need to start, by our behavior in international fora.
Yeah.
Secondly, building our army.
Yeah.
And putting serious laws and respecting it ourselves, and just live equitably. But here, the problem is, before anyone respect you on the street, you must respect yourself.
Yes.
At this point, this is what the president is trying to do, to rebuild the country, to rebuild trust, to rebuild army, to rebuild respect, to rebuild everything that we need so we can look stronger in international eyes. From that point, then the international community will take a look at you and take your approach differently. Do you know how Rwanda organizes themselves? Do you go to the Rwanda embassy in Washington D.C. and go to the DRC embassy in Washington D.C. and it's
no
day and night.
Yeah.
It's day and night.
Yeah.
So here, I think we need to start rebuilding our army forces. Give them salaries. Let the salary comes to them. Let the money get back in the back pocket. Give them food, give them equipment, give them insurances, give them retirement, give them health insurance. You know, build hospital for army. They have wives and kids that go to school. So let's start there. Let's build the army before we can do anything else.
I really like your perspective. It's very clear. Do you mean the fact of talking about the international community for Congolese, it's like a waste of time?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to look at. I don't watch the foreign. I don't watch all these channels. Excuse me, I'll say
without
like
any content.
White channels. I don't watch those no more. Yeah, I don't watch those no more. Yeah. As you see, the one TV channel here put Congo and East Congo in the programs. That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
it's almost like two countries. But right now, before we can talk about respect in the international community, let's build our army.
Yeah.
Let's scratch everything else.
Let's
clean the board, rebuild our army, rebuild our army, and put the seriousness in our force or a defense force, and we're gonna get some respect.
Yeah, but Congolese are really, a little bit ashamed. The fact that today our country, mostly Goma, the North Kivu and the South Kivu as well, the situation is very black. Why aren't we capable of working with that international community, the European Union, the United States of America? How can Rwanda be like an intermediary negotiating for, Congolese raw materials in place of Congolese? What's going on in a diplomatic way?
Yeah, because I'm glad. I'm so sad. I have to say like this, my brothers and sisters Congolese. We have to look each other in the eyes and say the truth, okay?
Yes.
Let's be serious about ourselves. And we're going to deal with any investors. Rwanda doing what they're doing because when it comes to the business, they're serious about the business. However, I'm not praising them for doing what they are doing now. They're so envious. Oh, in the beginning, they told us that the Banyamulenge wants a land.
Yes.
And then they changed that. They changed that. They say, they are tribe that are not feel secure. And then they change it again. And every time they keep changing it. We have 420 tribes in the DRC combined. Why we only have an issue with the one tribe in the eastern? So that's not the fact. The problem is, look, Rubaya. What happened to the raw material coming out of Rubaya? What happened to the gold of Beni, Ituri? What happened to those golds and diamonds that coming out nightly? You have helicopters, you have jets, private jets, you have plane, you have big cockpits, helicopters coming to take materials. So that's what happened. Let's build our army and cut off and reduce or remove the rebel groups, the small groups of rebels. Let's remove them by building our army, take a gun in the hands of the population, secure our border, point blank. There's no other
building the army has, we have like conditions. And the first condition is about having money. Our budget is too small. Something like $18 billion for the DRC is nothing. That's not the issue here. But I would like to be more specific here by, emphasizing, the United States of America, France, European Union. I would like to talk about United Nations. And they always give us lessons about human rights. But they are the first one to violate those rights, because Rwanda is supported by the European Union Commission. That's something known by everybody. That's a shame.
Oh, yeah. And again, I'll send you to response 1.
Yes.
All of this is because they don't see seriousness on us.
On us.
Let's say this. There are a lot of people that should be in prison right now, because they're taking money, they're doing a lot of the tournament, they're stealing money from the government. So these people are free and walking free. So let's be serious. Let's organize ourselves, undust ourselves, and keep walking. Life goes on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Everything is undeniably under control in this program. Praise Bluntly is really very, very interesting, as I told you at the beginning. I think that this show is being watched by everybody. Why not the head of state, Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo, the Prime Minister, Judith Suminwa, and everybody, ministers, in the parliament. Congolese are watching Bluntly. And I hope that what we're talking about here is not like a voice crying in the wilderness. Apart from Bluntly, you are watching. We do have another program, very interesting, called Newscast. Newscast is also a golden opportunity to express yourself without impediment. Find out.
Watch Newscast and you will be knowledgeable.
Newscast with Anissé Yomboranyam.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now the last segment, we have something like 7 minutes to conclude the program. And you are an expert. Congolese are watching this program. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
And I like your ideas.
Thank you.
And you have been focusing on the fact that Congolese must be serious and focused on how to rebuild
Ourselves.
the army,
Yes.
economy, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
It looks like our mindset must be different from the past. Congolese, are they strong? Are they powerful when it comes to the mindset, the way of doing things, the way of acting on the ground?
I think Congolese mindset.
Because actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely, I agree
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
Congolese mindsets have no problem, have no issue.
Yes.
Congolese need great leaders.
Leader, the leadership.
And we have a president who cannot do everything by himself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we have a president who have a goodwill
Yes.
to change things.
The
but
goodwill is not enough.
No.
Has to act.
He needs a team of
Good
people
collaborators.
to help him.
Yes.
And I think I was in the States in 2015
Yes.
when the former president Kabila said he didn't have 6 people to help him.
He said 16. 15.
15?
Yes.
Okay. He said he didn't have 15 people to help. That was disgrace. That was
Tshisekedi
pathetic.
says the same
That
thing.
was lost.
For Tshisekedi was also
I
the
don't know what the president say. I'm not here to quote him. I didn't see him say anything like that.
Yeah.
But I know this Goma experience
Yes.
will help him strengthen what he needs to do.
Yes.
If I have 1 second, you have to advise my president, my head of state. I was just gonna say, dear Mr. President, keep your head up. You carry on your shoulder 120 million Congolese, and this is not a joke.
But apparently the country doesn't have means.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We just want to tell him that we're supporting him, and if there's anything we can do,
Yeah.
whether in international arena,
Yeah.
we'll be more than happy to do that. This is why we went to live and study abroad.
Yes.
Is to help the country.
Yes.
And like I say, we have contact with Rubio, who is a state secretary of state in the U.S. and we can do a serious lobby to have
you
America.
studied in America.
agree.
You can play a significant role as a Congolese.
Yes, but
Yeah, here or
I'm
abroad,
not.
as you know.
No, it's you
You
have
can
to
also
be
be
an
hired
official.
as a minister. Why not?
You have to tell that to the president. So
yeah, he's watching Blood.
yeah, you have to say that to the president. But
Yes.
he needs a team of people to help him to rebuild this country.
What are our strategies regarding geopolitics in Central Africa, in the Great Lakes region? Do we understand exactly what we should do?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
The
Geopolitics.
neighboring Congo,
Yes.
Brazzaville,
Yes.
does its own thing.
Yes.
The DRC does its own thing. Angola, they just had a peace power transfer,
Yes.
and they're trying to rebuild themselves.
Yes.
Gabon, you see what happened in Gabon a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And Central Africa,
Yes.
you see what happened in Central Africa. So the entire region is shaking.
Yes.
But just
The
we
DRC is absent-minded.
no, I'm not going to use that term. I'm probably going to say the DRC need to take back its seat
Yes.
of leader in Central Africa and the Great Lakes.
Everybody has been saying that Congolese are they only like money. People are narcissistic, and we like our own interests. We don't work for the country.
Not all Congolese is 120 million. So the
shouldn't generalize, yeah.
one that are narcissists, they need to be removed. It's simple
Yes.
as that.
Yes.
So the president need to hire serious people to start working for him and to have his image,
Yes.
and the image of the Congolese population.
But the population thinks
change.
that, because I'm not here kidding, the population thinks that the president, Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, is not taking into consideration what we call meritocracy. It is a
does.
problem.
Oh, trust me, it does. I know the man.
And the Congolese from the diaspora do not play a significant role towards those who are working with the president.
At some point,
Yes.
it was a
They only like money. They take money, they
disconnection.
go with the money out of the country.
At some point, it was disconnection
Yes.
from diaspora and the president.
Yes.
Remember that in the beginning, a lot of people did not appreciate the working together, FCC and cash.
Cash, yeah.
And a lot of people, it started cracking from
Absolutely.
there. And right now, the president have a absolute homework to rebuild the nation, and I think he will do it.
And, not the last question, we're going to end the program right now.
Okay.
But I would like now to come back on something I don't like myself, but okay, I'm not a journalist. I'm here to ask questions.
Sure.
Now everybody is talking about the national dialogue. What does it mean exactly? I cannot understand, national dialogue right now. Would you like to share power? It's about sharing power.
Now, here's the problem, okay?
Yeah.
We had, if I'm not mistaken, 52 national dialogues, okay? None of them resolve anything. When they say national dialogues, they mean they say, okay, let's share the cake. Yes. Let's divide the power.
Yes.
Okay. And at this point, at this very moment, if I was the president, I would ask everybody who's outside, everybody who think that there should have been national dialogue, to come back to the country and help rebuild. Yes. It doesn't have to be. I don't have to sit with you so that you can tell me your do's and don'ts for me to run the country. No, the president need. If I was the president, I would ask everybody to come back in the country.
Send him a message, write to project.
I mean, he's listening. He's listening. He does know. He's a patient. He's a patient individual, and he does things when things are right. This is why in French they say pouvoir discrétionnaire. Discretionary power. Yes. So he does things in his own time. Even God Almighty, he act like that. Nobody can go to God and say, God, I want you to do this right now, and God will do it. God does things when he want to do it. So the president will do it whenever he feel right and comfortable.
Yeah, but many think in Congo that the president doesn't listen to the opposition, and the president has become a little bit nasty towards the opposition.
No, the president is not nasty. This is why we need to fix here.
Yes.
It was a campaign, electoral campaign.
Yeah, he won.
They were just throwing shades to each other. You saw that between this lady, what's her name, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. You saw that between Democrat and Republican.
Absolutely.
So you saw Trump sitting next to Barack Obama. So it was politics, it was election.
No, getting advice from
getting advice from the opposition. If the president is getting advice from the opposition, you think he will tell you? No. It might be easy right now already. So, yeah.
Fayulu and others have been complaining so much. The president doesn't listen to us. He's working alone. And
I think that's in a political fair, in a political arena. The president knows why he's handling it that way. So, yeah, I'll leave it to that.
Yeah. When it comes to about the fact everybody talks about the communication deficit in Congo. We do not communicate. Politics and the communication must go together. That's the last question. What do you think about it?
No. We communicate better now.
Better now.
We have a minister of communication. Every time I turn on the TV, that's the person that I see.
Do people listen to him? Are you sure?
If they're not listening right now, they will. He need to insist. Yeah, he need to put his foot down.
Internationally speaking, beyond the country, do we communicate?
Internationally speaking, I wish he was bilingual.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, Therese Kaikwamba, she is bilingual.
You should speak, communicate in English out of the country instead of staying here.
Say that to the president.
Yes.
You should, Therese Kaikwamba speaks English.
Yes.
They have a different look on her. And then I would like for our next communication minister to be bilingual. It's very important. French alone can do it because the French media, we know what they're doing to us.
I see.
So we need to start boxing English words so they can have. So to have a show like this is better. This is one example.
The last message, I give you 30 seconds. How do you conclude this program?
I want to say to the Congolese population in Goma not to discourage. We lost many of us. Just keep your head up, and we're crying with you. We're very unfortunate.
Never give up.
What's happening. We don't want you to give up, and it will be a bright day ahead of us. So Yeah, it will be a better day. We're hoping for a better day.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And there will be a better day.
Thank you so much. Bluntly, bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Everything is unequivocally under control in this program. As you can see, today's Bluntly was mesmerizing, as I told you at the beginning. Bluntly is the only Congolese English TV broadcast where you can find joy, hope, and inspiration for a better future. Bluntly is, reaching the cruising speed. All is well, that ends well. Thanks for watching and goodbye from Kinshasa. We are in the Democratic Republic of Congo. All the best and keep in touch. Thank you. Thank you so much. Keep in touch.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And next time, keep in touch and get in touch with Bluntly. Next time. Bye-bye.
I'm back.
Bluntly.
Down on the ground.
One is you need to do everything local, even if you think globally. It means that you don't have to have a networked strategy.
Bluntly, and Bluntly.
Growth be considered as a panacea concerning development.
Economic growth in the Congo is on paper, but it's not the reality.
Evidence, especially among students before graduating, you can
It
see
may be strong, but people who are dealing with the situation, this is the problem. Or right people are not.
Bluntly with Anissé Yomboranyam.
Bluntly, bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is